right. So, P, I got a question for you. Age gap relationship. What is an acceptable age gap relationship? Option one, any age, as long as it's legal. B, up to 10 years. C, up to 20 years. Or D, no more than 5 years. What's your choice?
The one that said it's acceptable, as long as they're
What?
legal.
That's your
If
choice?
hey, if you're gonna be real, like who's to say that a woman 80 years old can't get a young boy if she got pulled? Who
Okay.
am I to say? Like, who am I to say? Like, I'm not the one involved. You know, like who's judging? Who's the one that's saying, hey, you're 40 and she's 50, so it can't work. No, I mean, I think life figures that out on its own.
I object to a certain degree. I'm gonna go with the one with 5 to 10, 5 to 10.
Five to
Um,
10.
yeah, I
Was
think. Well, I'm going for the last two. I'm say five. Um, 10 if it's if it's a different. It depend on where I'm at in my life. You get what I'm trying to say? But anything above that, ugh,
no, we're
um,
not. We're not talking about you. We're actually talking about in general. Like,
well, general is different. That's people prerogative. Ugh, I can't see past the 10, but and I'm not saying that they're not ladies that like I'm 40. There are ladies in their 50s and 60s that looks good, right?
oh yeah,
And they got some that's younger that don't even look as good as those, because you, you reading through the line right there, but you get what I'm trying to say. But
hey, if I'm gonna keep it real and be honest, I think as long as they're legal, I don't have a problem with it. Who am I to judge? You
we
know.
see it a lot with men dating younger women, but when it comes
Okay.
to the flip side, right, with the older
Nobody,
ladies, right?
so nobody wants to see that old woman pull a young kid, but everybody
Because
wants to see Hugh Hefner um
because the reality
put
to
his
it is
move on that 18-year-old model.
because it ain't no end game on an older lady side. Hugh
How do you
Hefner could
know?
get the 17. I mean the not
Eventually,
17.
one of them's gonna kick it,
Let's clip that.
right?
Hugh Hefner could get an 18-year-old pregnant, right?
Right,
And provide and give her kids and start off and build a legacy.
right.
An 80-year-old woman can't do that.
Hugh wasn't trying to pump no other, and all these girls on birth control.
Right. But Robert De Niro, what? He was like, well, how old he is? Robert De
It don't
Niro just
matter. A man's sperm is swim until he die.
right. And that's what I'm trying to say. That's the benefit of
Right.
a
We
man.
all know men could procreate till the day they die. That's why we're here.
Right. And that's what I'm trying to say. That's the benefit of an older man dating a younger,
Right, right.
like,
We all know that, but
right.
but okay,
What is it for a
we have
lady?
to think outside of normal ideologies. We have to think
Right. And
outside of the way that everything's set up, the structure of family and how it's built from the ground up. The barrier's been knocked off, you know. It's no more church and school. It's everything's separated now. It's out. We outside.
right. I
So
agree. I
nothing's
agree.
normal,
But
you know.
I'm gonna come back to that, right? But what I wanted to say is you say we were going down that path where he says nothing is normal anymore, right? I lost my train of thought because like three things ran into my head while you was talking. What I wanted to say is even with all of this where he says nothing is normal anymore, you think there should be some kind of limitation that prevents certain things? Like what I'm
Well,
trying to say. Go ahead.
who's to be the ones to judge that? Like, and that's the thing. Like who's policing that? You know.
Right. But so what's stopping? All right. So the reason why I'm saying that is now who's to say that now like the legal age, right? Because people say age appropriate, right? And age appropriate may vary for different people. And age appropriate, who set the law that a woman is 18? In some states it's 17 or whatever, right? Who's to say, like you said, right? Things are everything is outside and nothing is normal anymore, right?
Right.
If we the people set the limitation on when a young boy and a young girl should be intimate, right? Who's to say like next week, like you said, everybody outside and the norms are gone, right? Who's to say they don't drop that junk to 14? You remember, it's man-made law. We're coming up with that boundary to
I think
protect our young kids.
I think we live in a time where public opinion matters a lot.
To whom?
Public,
Well, that's outside. When you get inside of your house,
and I think that's where it will happen. It comes outside and people see it, and it depends on how it gets transported out, and then eventually it comes back on you.
right? So, but you see, when everybody's outside, it becomes lawless.
But no, but here's the thing though. Most people don't believe in pedophilia. Anything
No,
your age, most people are always against. Now,
I agree. I agree.
I
I agree.
I'm not for that either. That's why I said as long as they're legal.
Right. I agree. I
I don't
agree.
have a limit. So we could say, like for instance, we made the you talked about an older man being able to date a younger woman, but we don't see it vice versa or in the other direction. So that's what I was alluding to.
Right.
If
I agree. I
if
agree.
she's much older and he's much younger, because at the end of the day, how often do we see that? We don't see many
No.
older women dating
Yeah.
younger men.
It's
It's a
very
lot more now, but I would say maybe you could see 30 years apart, 20 years apart in actual relationships. But
yep.
to say 30, 40, I have seen it, but it's very rare, but it's happening.
Yep.
You know what
I
I mean?
agree. I
So
agree with
who
that.
am I to say that I'm not okay with that? Because at the end of the day, if I'm not okay with that, I could just remove myself. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, this isn't somebody that's in my. And that's another question I'll ask you because I'm okay with it, right? What if it was somebody in your orbit that you knew personally, where it could have been a friend that was your age and started dating somebody and got serious with them that was, say, 40 years older? How would you feel about that?
If it's my kids, I'll be mad as hell. But if it's like a friend or somebody, that ain't my business. It ain't my business. I've seen the 20. I've definitely seen the 20, and that relationship is nice. You can't tell the age. You can't you That's one thing I could say. You can't tell the age. They live good, they're in love. You know what I'm saying? But when you get to well, we've seen the dynamic between the older men and younger women. That one is a wide bust open. We've been seeing that one on TV. When it comes to a lady now, y- y- the lady is now more looked as a 304. She's trying to play a young woman game. You get what I'm trying to say? Because she's basically getting used. You get what I'm trying to say? I that's my interpretation of it. Not all of them,
Which
but
age group are we in?
we're talking about like the ones that's 40 plus gap for a lady.
Right, right. The ones that's still competing with the 25-year-olds and the 30
Yep.
year olds,
Because
or at
guess
least
what?
trying to.
Exactly, because it's like this. I don't think older women should be let me rephrase it. It's not good for an older woman in her old age to be like hopping from bed to bed. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
It takes a toll on her because it's like this. Older man, you know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you something. You don't think that's what she wanted?
Well, if she wants it, that's her choice. And let me preface it by saying what she does is her choice. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with an old if she lived life, if she was married and she had kids and she lived life, she could do whatever she want. But at some point, when do you pull the card? Because it's like this. Most people don't even live to 80. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And if she's doing it and knocking boots at 80 and she good, the issue is at that old age, is that person in their right frame of mind? You get what I'm trying to
Okay.
say?
Because okay, so some people live their life a certain way, right? And in their 20s, they live a certain way to fit their 20s. They adapt in their 30s, adapt in their 40s. If they're single in their 40s, more likely they're going to be single till they're 80, because the longer you live without people, you don't depend on anybody anymore. Become comfortable around yourself and your dog or your cat. So as they get older, they adapt. You know what I'm saying? So nothing really changes, but it changes,
Yep,
you know? And that's kind of how I look at it.
I agree. I agree. But I think the age thing do trouble me a little bit, but like you said, as long as, and what I was saying earlier was more prevented, like the outside thing, because if there's no norms, right? Everyone that's let me clarify that. So when you say there's no norms, that's that talking point is to say what's weird, let's make it normal, and what's normal, let's distort it. Once
Yeah.
we distort it, we don't know reality. Once reality is gone, no one know what's normal anymore. So it's like this. In 2000, it was here. Now that junk is over here. People are confused. Now they confused. People don't want to speak about it. They don't want to talk about it because guess what? It's so gone so far to the unnormal, like people don't know what is normal. So that's why I was kind of pushing back on that a little bit. It
Mm.
wasn't too much about the age, but I wanted to push back on if we don't have a sense of normality someplace, who's to stop it from going far? You know what I'm saying? So that was that right
Well,
there.
I don't think it's something that's gonna it's gonna be a big trend about something like this. It's just not normal. However, it's happening from time to time, because some of these women could be very persuasive, and
True.
sometimes there are things involved, payola, all kinds of different things, whatever,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
I get you. I
So
get you.
some of these people are always going to win, but there's not a lot of them to say, "Oh, it's all in your face." You know what I'm saying? I don't think that is something we'll run into a lot.
Cool, I get you. Right.
You know?
But my question for you now is what's the benefit of a 83-year-old woman brings to a relationship?
Oh, she going to basically she got a good pension. You a lot of some of these guys like older women because they hope that they go up to see, pushing daisies or something, and basically they inherit,
But that's
property.
still all right, cool. So okay, the financial.
Right. There could be
Get
financial benefits. Um, Sometimes people generally just connect,
okay.
you know. Who
How
knows?
about let's get straight to the point. How about intimately? How do an 83-year-old lady intimately in that thing in
Because
that area?
some of them still have the drive. Some of them, they have the drive just like men do. Some don't. Some shut down at 50 and some keep going. Like, well, I've seen it. I mean, I'm speaking from experience, sometime you attend events, parties, stuff like that. And yeah, I've seen some of these older women get party hard like these young chicks. They be like, ooh, but they doing it probably one night of the year. Yeah, it's listen. I've seen it. It will happen.
Yeah. I get you. I
And
get you. I'm not saying they don't.
and
I'm
and
not
and,
saying
and
they.
here's the thing. If she can actually perform and is into that, a person that old, see Elmo just got squashed. You see
Yeah,
that
they
shit?
attack Elmo, boy.
Jesus Christ, motorbike. So if she has that drive at 80, could you imagine the experience that she's bringing?
Nope.
Bro. And I'm sure she got dentures, bro. That is A1 kid.
Uh,
No.
Ew. Nah, they missed me on that. What
Listen
I
to
would
it.
say is, I would say the same way I think it's weird for like an older dude with a younger chick. I think it's weird on the opposite side. I'm not saying I could understand the the 30s. You
Yeah,
more
I feel the same way too. I just don't hate it.
yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I'm saying it's
But
not my
I'm
choice
not. It's not. It wouldn't be my first choice is to be like, ugh, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like,
because
if that's what you into and that's what you into.
I seen it with the ladies, right? So, right, it's not only on the men.
What do you mean you seen it with the ladies?
So it's not only on the men's side. So we all thinking it's the older men chasing after these younger ladies, right? It's not only on them. There are girls 25 and up. I'm gonna use 25 and up, right? I've seen younger, but 25 and up. If a
Well,
guy is at a certain age and
well,
he got
let's
money,
let's just go to back to Hugh Hefner. Do you remember how that ended? When he married, wasn't it him? He married a young girl. She was like 18, 19.
yeah,
And it was kind of the same thing when it was like, why did he marry her? Why did she marry him? You know what I mean? Because basically she knew he was on the out,
right. But
so
what I would say that's true, but and that's yeah, this down same the same line, right? They got some younger girls, like you said, Hugh Hefner. They are looking for older guys, and they rather put it on an older guy because he won't be able to keep up. One, it's easier. You know what I'm saying? It's probably easier in certain things. They ain't doing all the aerobics and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
and
They
they're trying to cash in too.
exactly, and that
And a
they
lot
go
of them
get paid
cash in.
for it. Yeah. So it's so I understand. So we can't only put it on guys, and the same thing go for men. The men,
Right.
the
That's what I said. For me personally, I don't see anything wrong with it because it doesn't happen so often that it's in your face. It does happen, but I don't think it's a lot.
one thing I would add to that is older men are more kind of open with certain things. Older ladies have it more discreetly. You get what I'm trying to say? An older lady would more hide it, so it's not in the open. You get what I'm
No, no,
saying?
no. I don't think so. I think
I
it.
think so.
I think it's on both ends because how many times do you? Okay, for instance, a chick is more likely to be all on Instagram posting about what her sugar daddy got her, or what this had. Look, he got me. Look, and she's the one that puts the light on him. You'll never see a dude on Instagram. I mean, you might, but usually the people in the community is what exposes her.
Right. And that we're going down the same line because that's what I was going to say was
I
for
mean,
older
he get exposed by the kind of like the community because the
exactly. Yeah.
women, the women inside the community are kind of angry of the way this stuff worked out because they weren't involved.
All right, I
You know,
get you. I get you.
you know
I
what I'm
get you.
saying? A lot of times it's because they weren't picked. So say you got like this dude is a 10, right? And there's 30 girls chasing him, and one ends up with him. These other 29 are feeling kind of
Slighted.
heartless,
Yep.
right? And they're the ones that do the damage. Oh, he's with a young chick, and she's she's 2 years older than his daughter, and they create all kind of narratives to try to break that up. And I think when things like that happen, it exposes the guy more than it should. But when it happens and it also too, that chick will probably come out and, like I said, start posting on Instagram. Oh, I don't have to do nothing. Daddy's at work all day. Daddy got me Prada bag. Daddy said I go to them. And then they post a lot of stupid stuff, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, everybody know his business.
Yeah.
You
I
know what
get
I'm
you. I
saying?
get you.
Where the guy, if a guy was dating an older chick, she would keep her mouth shut and the dude most likely will because he wants some more, you know. So that's kind of how that go down. But unless the two younger versions are on, because listen, even a guy that was a gigolo won't be posting pictures of what he's doing anywhere because he's kind of always being discreet. And usually those relationships is they last long, nobody ever knows because nobody talks,
Okay.
you know.
Servicemen's. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I could see it on both ends with that one
All
for
right. Cool.
sure.
Cool.
But I don't
So
think that go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so we'll wrap this one up. But so you're saying any age, right? And
Yeah,
I'm saying, yeah, you said any age as long as it meets
it's
the
legal.
it's legal. I respect that, right? Me or my thing, I would say 5 to 10 years, but people are free to do what they want, you know. Like I was saying in closing, like if it was, I got girls, so if it's my kids, I wouldn't want it from, but I would feel a way. But if it's family or
because
whatever, they could do.
the way it goes, right? People, okay, say if it's the girl's 20 and the guy's 30, people look at it wrong. But if the girl's 30 and the guy's 40, they look at it differently, right? And you keep going up and you look at it and it just changes as it goes because people look at it as experience, as grooming, as there's different names and words that's added to these titles as you go along in age. But when
Yeah,
you look at it, it's the same thing.
yeah,
You know
it
what I
is.
mean? Like would you see a 10-year-old date a 2-year-old or a 1-year-old? No. But if you jump 10 years, you jump 20 years, and all of a sudden it's possible.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And it all depends on where you are as the number moves, you know, and usually depending on what side of the conversation you on or the argument, the women tend to push the older men towards that, oh, you like women between 17 and 23. Well, no, the survey shows that a woman between that age is at her most beautiful. You know what I mean? That's when she's primed to have babies and everything that comes with that. You know
yeah.
what I mean? And that's kind of like what they kind of look at. I know I'm going off topic here, but
No, no, no. I get you saying. We kind of touched a little bit on that on a different subject, but yeah, I get you. I get you.